Akin Fatunke, chartered accountant and communications consultant, joins me now from Lagos to unpack the latest as far as the president's trip to India is concerned. Good evening to you, sir, and thank you very much for your time.
My pleasure, Kofi. Nice to be here.
Nigeria's president on his trip to India seems to be yielding some fruit. Do you agree with that view that is getting some results? We've seen after a meeting with the Hinduja Group and other investors, pledges of about $14 billion US. Is this an indication of a turnaround not too far from now for the Nigerian economy?
Yes, Kofi. And at the risk of usually when you say you have plans, it's only when you see that you begin to believe. But I think the morning makes the day, and these are great signs on the back of reforms that have been boldly, focusedly, and I put that in quotes, and with uncommon vigor being encapsulated by this president to correct the physical, monetary, and fiducial imbalance that we have had in Nigeria that has made Nigeria most underperforming. They are hard, they are difficult, and I think the international community seems to be watching this with bated breath. Will it do? Will it not do? And Kofi, I actually said to you that focusedly, and I put it in quote, because we still have an elephant in the room. And that elephant in the room is issues surrounding legitimacy of his presidency. One river has been crossed. We have a bigger ocean that we need to cross in 60 days' time. If we are able to pull that elephant out of the room, I'm saying the 14 billion that we are really talking about, 8 billion in Durama, 3 billion processing steel development, 1.6 billion, 700 million battery, will be a great opener on a starting line that will give a lot of advantage. And given the fact that we have a president, and with due respect, who understand the bit of the nuances that surround trade, investment, and the huge capacity that Nigeria portends in terms of population, in terms of capacity, in terms of competitive labor force. If you are capable of solving these inherent internal problems, some of them are low-hanging fruits, to win the mind and soul of the populace, then I say great start, and this is going to be the beginning of greater things to come.
Okay, interesting. Mr. Akin, the president has said that he will ensure bottlenecks are removed, as far as the economy is concerned, so that investors can thrive. Nigeria is a difficult place to do business in. We have so many bottlenecks. Is it feasible what the president is saying, that he is going to take away these bottlenecks?
Kofi, I will be the first to raise my hand and say, hey, wait a minute. A good manager under-promise and over-perform. We have so many inherent contradictions that we have. We have a backlog of so many things that we need to take care of. Security is part of it. The issue of force majeure caused by flood that is coming on. We have the issue that is happening in Niger, Gabon, for which Nigeria is the ECOWAS chairman, and part of the geopolitical politics that is going around. Are we saying Mr. President is capable of putting this and crossing them? I will say, can we pick them one by one? The first one will be security. Perhaps the first one to really be winning the heart and minds of the people. Nigeria has to be governed by the rule of law. Once he gets his legitimacy, which I dare say, because you might ask me that, is he likely to get it? I think the chances are very, very, very skewed in the favor of him getting it. And if he gets it, he now needs to win the hearts and minds of the people. I'm talking of the Southeast as an example. IPOB and Nnamdi Kanu. I'm talking of El Zakzaki and some other prisoners of conscience. Can we now look at situations where if these gentlemen or gentle ladies, as the case might be, who are languishing against court ruling, can be released, free, the potentiality of the people, and then we go to security, making sure that policies meted out people who are not doing what they need to do. It needs to be
Mr. Fatunke, sorry to interject. Yes, but I just want to quickly ask you, Bola Tinubu's president, and you've made some interesting points about legitimacy and how he can maneuver what lies ahead. But the president's trip to India is also to explore Nigeria's membership of the G20. Very important. But the question to ask is, does Nigeria have what it takes to be a member of this all-important group, the G20, especially seeing the fact that AU is asking also for a permanent membership as well?
Don't forget South Africa has been an outlier. Okay, South Africa has been a member of the G20. Why will South Africa be a member of the G20 and Nigeria cannot be a member of the G20? Basically because of the inherent issues that I mentioned before. Without fear of contradiction, let me say that the past 8 years, in fact, the past 16 years altogether, but accentuated in the past 8 years, has been a very poor showing for Nigeria. Does Nigeria have the potential to be able to be a member of G20? Why not? We straddle quite a number of geopolitics in the world. The G7, the P5, that's a permanent file, the Mistral, that's Mexico, Indonesia, Turkey, Australia, ECOWAS chairmanship, and our position in AU, which seems to be on a bit of a shaky with South Africa, is also a thing that we need to really put together. So we have the population. We have, if G20 comprised 2/3 of world population and 25% of world trade, of which Nigeria's interconnectivity in all those geopolitical windows that I've mentioned has always been there, just that has been sleeping. We now have a president who now got up and said, yes, this is the time for Nigeria. And I need my people at my back. Not only is it that we are boisterous, we are great, we are potentially rich, we need to carry our people along. I do not see any reason why any world power or any world geopolitical zone will not be listening to Nigeria, but we have to start internally first. Internally, we should get it. I'm happy at what Ralph Aregbesola, the former Minister of Interior, said in the same Delhi where they were talking about terrorism and what have you. He made that point, and the world listened, except that they were twitching their noses. Is Nigeria ready? Nigeria seems to be ready now with exactly what Mr. President and his team has been able to do. This is a team that must work in concert, must not work in silos. This is a team that must work according to the dictates of the rule of law. This is a team that must say something, and whatever it is that they say, Mr. President must listen. If he doesn't listen, then that means we are not ready to
Akin
start.
Fatunke, thank you very much. Thank you very much.
We are not only ready, and he's making a promise that he will make that happen.
Thank you very much. The president made some words, I'm sure, agree with him that Nigeria's problem is not human capital or resources, but a management problem. We'll see what happens in the months ahead. Thank you very much for your time. Yes. Akin Fatunke, Chatered accountant and communications.
I have faith in Nigeria. Nigeria will make it.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.